Hello viewers and welcome to this edition of Asian Vibes. The show profiles the Asian community in Thunder Bay. My guest today is Hansi Hatharasinghage, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about her beautiful, beautiful country, and it's an island country.
Yes.
So thank you so much first, Hansi, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time, and you look beautiful.
Thank you very much.
That is a sari, I
It's a
guess.
sari, yes.
Yeah, we call it sari too. And this is 6 yards of fabric.
Oh yes, yes.
But look how beautiful, how
I
beautifully
know.
and elegantly you have draped it. So Hansi, you are from Sri Lanka.
Yes.
And you are my first guest from Sri Lanka.
And I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. So please tell us, give us a glimpse of your beautiful, beautiful island country.
Okay. So it's a little island off of Indian Ocean. It's very, very beautiful. It's very green. It's, a lot of trees and forests and very like tropical in
The
there.
weather is tropical.
Yes. It's very, there's like 4 ethnicities, or like many ethnicities in there. There's Sinhala, there's Tamil, there's other like religions, there's Buddhist people, there's Hindu people, Islam, Catholics and Christians. Everybody lives
So,
in
a secular.
peace. Yes. It's quite crowded because it's a little island, but everybody's very, very nice, very close communities.
I believe about 23 million
Yeah,
population.
a lot of
yeah.
23 million about.
Yeah, about
people,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the density is
Quite dense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and which part of the country are you from?
My province is called Sabaragamuwa. It's quite off of the coastal area, so it's not close to the ocean, but it's not quite in the middle. It's a little off of on the sides. Pretty good area to be in, if in my opinion.
It would be such fun, yeah, having the sea and water all
Yeah.
around you.
Yeah, if you drive off for a couple hours and then you see the ocean and just jump in and have a swim, and it's very fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And this is a country which does not have, of course, because it's an island, does not have a land border with any
No.
other country.
No, yes.
So your neighboring countries would be India.
India, yes.
India would be. Sri Lanka has played a very major role in our Hindu mythology,
Yes.
in Ramayana.
Yeah, so there is a pretty big Hindu community there.
Yeah.
And they like, since we live so close together, we know like Hindu people's beliefs and they're worshiping all that stuff, and then they know Buddhist people's like
True.
the temples sometimes have some like statues, Hindu statues, while they have Buddhist statues.
So you
it's
have
very-
monasteries and temples.
Yeah.
Everything, all
Everything,
yeah,
everywhere.
multi-religious
Oh yes.
country.
Yeah.
And what do you practice? So you are a Sinhalese.
Yeah, I'm Sinhalese and I practice Buddhism.
You practice
Yeah.
Buddhism, all right.
Yeah, before I moved here, I was very dedicated to like that side of my beliefs. I went to like Sunday school, like here, but it's for at the temple. I
Right.
just learn there, and then you like worship Buddha in the morning with everybody in the temple, and then you go to your classes, you learn, and then you go home at the end. Sometimes we have like little concerts where we sing and
Wow.
do all
The
that.
hymns and the
Yeah,
spiritual hymns.
yeah.
All right.
yeah.
Nice. And so what language do you speak?
I speak Sinhala.
You speak Sinhala.
I speak Sinhala.
And you
yes.
can read and write as well?
Oh yes, I have a book here if you want to.
See how the
See,
lettering
yeah.
is.
So this book is about. It's pretty much Sri Lankan Robin Hood. That's what
Oh.
they call them.
Okay.
It's called Saradiel. Yeah. So I've gotten comments about the writing. It's very different from what it's here.
Right.
But yeah, I really like the language. It's very passionate.
So
in a
you
way,
grew
I
up
think.
in Sri Lanka?
Oh, I did,
Yeah?
yes.
So how long
Yes.
were you there?
I was there until I was 16.
You were 16.
And then we moved to Canada, here.
right.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka also has a very has gone through some trying times with the civil war.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's over 25 years. or?
I think close to 30 years.
30
yeah.
years, yeah.
So it started with when the at the top area of the country was mostly Tamil people, and so I think they wanted to not take over the country, but like gain
Wanted
more.
a little piece of that. Right.
Yeah, so that's how it started, where the Sinhala and the Tamil ethnicities were on pretty much a battle for the land.
So the war was influenced by ethnicity.
Ethnicity battles, yeah.
And Sri Lanka and my country, India, we have a lot of historical similarities. We were
For sure.
colonized by Great Britain.
Yeah, so Sri Lanka was colonized by Great Britain until 1948, if I'm correct. So, and before that, the Dutch and the Portuguese also
Were there as colony. Yeah, they were also colony.
yeah. So it's been influenced by all the like Western cultures.
Still?
A bit, yeah.
Still today?
Yeah.
Oh, right. And so you got your independence in 1948,
48, yeah.
And we got in 1947. So
Oh, really?
been
Yeah.
times. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So.
So what do you remember of the war itself, the Civil War itself? So you were there, you
I
grew
was
up
there.
there. What
Yeah,
was
I
the
was-
memories, experience, impact?
So I wasn't personally affected, but like I remember watching TV and like there was suicide bombers like going to shopping malls and like buses filled with kids from coming back from school, and like it was a very, very scary time. Like we were all on edge all the time. Like my parents were like, "Be careful," you know, like, and all that. It was not a
Devastation everywhere.
Yeah.
Were you also there during the tsunami, the great tsunami?
I
of
was in 2004.
2004 was
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
I remember actually it starting like we were watching TV and like at the island off onto the right where it started. We were all worried like because it's a coastal island, right? So a lot of people were affected.
It's in Sri Lanka.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, like towns were wiped out. I wasn't affected, which I'm lucky for that, but it was very tragic to see.
It was very tragic.
all this.
Very, very tragic
Yeah,
times.
oh, yeah.
I was in Thailand, and
Right.
I was also directly not affected because it was the southern part of the country.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I heard so many of my friends, relatives, and the neighbors,
Yeah.
the network. Through our network, we heard a lot of people who
Yeah, my parents were like calling everywhere to see if their like
Safe and
families
sound,
were
yeah.
okay,
That
but
was-
like because they lived very close to the coast, so but nobody was seriously
hurt, yeah.
hurt. But
were from your family.
yeah,
So we'll take a very short break, Hansi,
Okay.
and we will be right back. Dear viewers, stay tuned. We want to know a little bit more about Sri Lanka.
yes.
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Asian Vibes, and my guest today is Hansi, and we're talking about her country, Sri Lanka, her home country, Sri Lanka, which is in the Asian subcontinent.
Yes.
And it's one of the South Asian country, right?
Yes.
Like along with India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka.
Yes.
We all are in the same
The same.
same diaspora.
Yeah.
So, Hansi, I wanted to know what does your name mean?
My name means a swan. Hansi Devindya, which is my middle name, means a female, like a mother, like
Okay.
swan.
Right.
But that's what it means.
Mother Swan.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so you were telling us about growing up in Sri Lanka. Yeah. So you did all your schooling in Sri Lanka?
I was going to school until I was in grade 11 there. Yeah, and then I moved here.
Yeah. And you were also, it's one of those countries, and I feel very proud too, because we have had women prime ministers, yeah, heading the government. And I understand there are a lot of women who have been heads of governments in Asia.
Yeah, so Sri Lanka actually has the world's first female prime minister, who is Srimati Bandaranaike, that's her name. Yeah, and I'm very proud to say that I'm a part of that country. And then after her daughter, who is Chandrika Bandaranaike, also was the president for about 4 years, I think. So
And the senior Bandaranaike was, she was the prime minister for nearly 4 decades.
4 decades, yeah.
She carried on the term for 3 3 continuous terms,
Yeah,
right?
it was a very long time. Yeah.
Awesome, yeah.
Before I was born.
Yeah, and it's so nice to, I was reading about this, that not only India and Sri Lanka, but Bangladesh, Indonesia, Pakistan,
Right.
South Korea, Philippines, all of them had women as their heads of government.
Oh, wow.
Awesome,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's great.
Rock. So tell us a little bit about the festivities. Yeah.
Okay, so in Sri Lanka, we celebrate New Year's, but not in January. It's in April. In like the 13th or the 14th, it's like a set date, usually around there.
April, so it's, yeah.
Yeah, so it's mostly a traditional and a cultural festival. So it's about like astrology, like where the sun and the sun moves. So it's most of it is it's also a national holiday. So we make a lot of like treats and like a lot of curries and foods, just specially for that. And there's like a lot of games that's cultural games only on that's we play on that day. I remember like my mom really likes to make this treat called kokis.
Kokis.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not a sweet one, but it's made out of flour and like you use like little cookie cutters to make them. Yeah, so we also like visit our relatives, our neighbors, and bring them a little gift, and then they treat you to like tea and like crackers and all that.
What's the traditional food like? What's your staple traditional food like?
Rice.
Yeah,
Is
rice a staple?
Rice is very, very big. So one of the main traditional foods is called milk rice.
Milk rice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you make rice with coconut milk. So it's sticky and like you put it on a plate and then you flatten it and then you cut it into squares and you serve it with like chili paste. It's a different chili paste, but pretty much that's what it is. It's really tasty.
And you also make something like a noodle.
Yeah,
Wha-
string hoppers.
They call string hoppers.
String hoppers, yeah. So there's also regular hoppers, but the string hoppers you like eat it with curry, like potato curry, and yeah, it's
So we have a lot of similar influences,
Yeah.
with the spices and especially coconut.
yeah.
The southern
Yeah.
part of India use a lot of coconut. They also cook in coconut oil.
coconut oil, yeah. And then we also use banana leaves to like wrap up meals, and like it's very I think the chemicals get in there, and it's very tasty.
Oh, from the banana leaf. You're
Yeah.
baking this. You bake and cook in the banana leaf as well.
Yeah, and then you wrap it up when you like need to take it somewhere, and it's very tasty.
All right, and you were
Yeah.
going to tell us a little bit about the album that you brought with us.
Yeah, so this is me when I got my first period. So it's like a puberty ceremony, pretty much. There's a lot of traditional activities involved in it. Like in the morning of the day, there's like a get together that you do, and in the morning we this is my mom, and this is my grandmother. So there's like little traditional activities where you like cut a coconut open, and then you there's like a little lamp with flowers on it.
Wow.
You light it, and then you worship your elders, and yeah, so it's a
So this is is there a matriarchal society, and what is the significance behind this
it's
ceremony?
pretty much when a girl is becoming a woman, just coming to her womanhood.
This is a tradition. This
it's a
is
tradition.
Every girl.
Every girl goes
That's
through it.
separate, okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty much celebrating the girl becoming a woman and letting the world know that she's stepping into her adulthood.
And
Yeah.
so this was at your home there with your parents.
This is my home. Yeah. Every like all your family, your relatives get together and celebrate it with you, and really, yeah, very nice.
Right. So when did you move to Canada?
I moved to Canada in 2013, about almost 5 years ago now. It was a very, very big difference.
It's a big
from
transition.
Yeah,
yeah?
big
move,
transition.
yeah.
Yeah. My dad wanted us kids to get a better education here, and that was the reason for us to move here. The biggest
from
reason.
plus 30 tropical setting to almost minus 30.
Yeah.
That's a lot of changes.
A lot of changes. Yeah.
Adapting to changes, basically.
The weather was pretty harsh. But
when did you arrive?
We arrived in April,
Okay,
so it wasn't too bad. The snow was melting. But I haven't seen snow before.
I know, that's the same thing for all of us. Right?
Yeah, this is the biggest thing that I was excited for, to see snow.
Right.
So we were very happy to play with snow and all that.
And was Thunder Bay your first place of destination here?
No,
in
actually,
Canada?
we landed in Kenora. Yeah, my dad had a family friend there, and he helped us a lot to settle down. But yeah, that's
right.
why.
So we'll talk a little bit more about your life here now in Thunder Bay.
Sure.
So we'll take a short break. Dear viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, viewers. You're watching Asian Vibes, and my guest is Hansi, and she's been talking to us about Sri Lanka.
Yes.
You talked to us so many beautiful things about the cultures and some of the festivities, but now you're talking to us about your move to Canada, and how are you holding on to your traditions, all the beautiful memories from home.
Yeah. So moving here was a big transition for me, like you said earlier.
Big one.
I missed all my friends back home since I left them when I was 16, and that was very difficult for me. But yeah, so since the traditions that we hold, and my religion, Buddhism, we like worship every day to memorize all that. And
you do continue to do here as well?
Not here, but when I go back home with my family.
Right.
We have a statue, Buddha statue, a little one.
At home?
Yeah, we brought one here, and yeah.
Oh, you brought one here with you here in
Kenora.
In Kenora,
Yeah.
okay. Is there a big, large Sri Lankan community here in Thunder Bay or in Kenora?
I don't think so.
No?
In Kenora, not for sure, no. There's only like one other family there. Here, I only have met a couple people, Sri Lankan people.
Here in Thunder Bay?
In Thunder Bay.
And they're students?
They're students, yeah.
Oh, they're all students?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Do you get to meet and do you get to celebrate anything together?
I unfortunately have not been able to do that.
But do you get to meet other South Asian
Yeah,
communities?
I meet a lot of other Indian people, like Bangladesh, people from Bangladesh,
So
Pakistani people.
Pakistan,
Yeah.
Bangladesh, Nepal.
Nepal's, yeah.
India, of course. They all have a big community.
Big
here, each
community,
one.
yeah.
So Sri Lanka is one of those which have.
Yeah.
You have to bring in more
Very
people
little.
for Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Right. So do you get to go often to home, like Sri Lanka?
Not very often. We visited once since we came back here. Yeah, we went to see all my family and relatives, and they were very happy to see us. They missed us, and I missed them. My grandparents especially.
What do you got to go and visit any particular place or any temples or anything? It's a very touristic country.
It
as well,
is.
right?
It's very tourist-based country. We visit. There's this temple that's very famous one called Temple of the Tooth.
Temple of the Tooth.
Temple of the Tooth. Yeah. It's in Sinhala. It's called Sri Dalada Maligava. It is said to be the temple holding the sacred tooth of the Buddha.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's one of the biggest places that we go to worship. It's one of the very, very sacred places.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the tea plantations as well, I heard. Yeah, well, lots
Yeah,
of national parks and tea plantations.
Yes, Sri Lanka is one of the top countries that produce tea for the world.
For the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sinhala, the Ceylon tea.
Ceylon tea, yes.
By the way, Sri Lanka was called Ceylon.
It was called Ceylon before, yeah.
And then it changed its name to Sri Lanka.
Because Ceylon was from British influence name.
Ah.
So it was changed to Sri Lanka once we gained independence. Yeah.
All right. So you were talking about the tea.
Yeah. So tea was actually introduced by the British colonizers, but now it's one of our own industries. Like there's very like big areas of tree plantations.
Yeah.
Same with rice, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, there's big paddy fields of rice because we eat a lot of rice. Another industry is gems.
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 You mean gemstones?
Yeah, gemstones.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually my town, Ratnapura. The name itself means gem city.
Oh.
So it's one of the big cities that.
Any specific, any particular gemstone? That you're
I think
about?
it's like the sapphire.
The sapphires.
I think I might be wrong, but yeah, it's a big industry there.
Yeah.
Also,
So
gems.
these are all cash. I mean, the tea was a cash crop, and the rice was a cash crop.
Yeah.
And tourism is a big.
It's also cash crop.
Yeah, nice, wonderful. So, do you plan to go soon? Anytime soon?
Hopefully next year or so. I really want to see my relatives and all of my friends.
And you're
Yeah.
a student here.
I am a
Okay.
student here.
What
yeah.
are you studying?
I'm studying biology. And I'm
Biology.
in third year right now. Yeah.
And do you often think about how, just thinking of home, what kind of memories come back to you? You're first generation here.
I am, yes.
Yeah, what kind of memories come to you with regards to when you think about home? When you
Uh,
think of Sri Lanka as your home country.
yeah.
Home is Canada now,
right now, yeah.
for all of us.
I miss it a lot. I miss the the wind. Like it's weird, but like they have very very soothing like environment for me, and like the Buddhist culture itself. It's like my second home almost.
You relate a lot to it.
Yeah. So I miss like going to the temple and like just sitting there and playing with my friends.
Is there any monastery in Toronto or anything's resemblance to?
Yeah, there is
monastery.
temples in Toronto and like
Okay.
in big cities, but not in Kenora.
Not in, of course,
And
yeah.
but
Right.
there is big. I've been in Winnipeg, and they have a temple there.
A Buddhist for
Yeah, a Buddhist temple. Yeah.
for monastery.
Yeah, with like monks and all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was growing up in. We were in Thailand for a while, and
Right.
we went to a lot of these wat. They call it wat. WAT. You know, the temples are called wat
Right.
by the Thais, and we saw a lot of these reclining Buddhas.
Yeah.
In stone and gold. And it was so beautiful, beautiful,
Yeah.
and just looking at Buddha gives you that serene and calm
Yeah,
feeling.
exactly.
Right?
I actually have some like pictures of some statues here. If you'd
These
like
are-
to see them.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like standing Buddha statues in Sri Lanka. Yeah,
beautiful.
they're very big
yeah.
and
these are
beautiful.
stone, carved in stone.
they are, yeah.
out of big mountain slabs.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And the natural fauna and flora of Sri
Yeah.
Lanka is also very.
A lot of waterfalls,
Yeah, I believe 103 rivers or so
rivers. Yeah.
in that little teardrop
Yeah.
country.
Yes. It's very, very nature
Rich in
based.
natural resources
Yeah.
as well.
I'm very proud to be
I'm
from
sure
there.
you are. So lovely talking to you, Hansi, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much.
I know we cannot talk so much more. I mean, we definitely want to talk a lot more about
Yeah.
your country, but thank you for giving us a little glimpse of your culture and your heritage, and you spoke a lot about Buddhism and how it influences your life today.
Yeah, you're very
So
welcome.
thank you so much, Hansi.
Thanks
a
for
lot.
having me
and
here.
good luck for everything that you do here in Canada.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dear viewers, thank you for watching this edition with Hansi, and I hope you got a little understanding of this little beautiful place, Sri Lanka. Till we meet again, stay well. Thank you.